So today we're here with
Father Joe Carlos here at St. Francis Parish in Teutopolis, Illinois.
Father. Where are you from?
I'm from Joliet, Illinois.
Where did you attend high school?
I went to the seminary, St. Joe's Seminary in Westmont, which would be about 20 miles west of Chicago.
What year did you graduate?
High school in 65.
Wow, way back then.
1965,
Yes.
not 1865. Yeah.
Did you play any sports in high school?
Oh, yeah. We played baseball and basketball. In fact, I was an outfielder in baseball, and out there in the field, I picked up some grass and chew on that, and while I'm waiting for a hit, that put me in the infirmary. I got some kind of staphylococcus from that. I had to be isolated for 2 weeks, so I don't chew grass anymore.
Oh my!
Yeah, moo.
Talk about after high school. Where did you attend college?
Then I went to Quincy College, which is now Quincy University, for 2 years, and then to the novitiate, where we learn about the Franciscan order. That's when we would have come here to Teutopolis, but there were 50 novices, and so we were too big to come here to Teutopolis, and so they sent us to Chicago, to Oak Brook, near Westmont.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go back to Quincy for 2 more years of college, and then on to theology in Chicago for 4 years.
So after college, talk about the process of becoming a priest. Where are you from? Your first assignments at?
Okay, my first assignment was in St. Louis, St. Anthony of Padua. Big parish, grade school, high school for girls. It was South St. Louis. If you're driving along Interstate 55 coming south by the brewery, you'll see these 2 big steeples off the highway, and that's St. Anthony's in St. Louis. From there, I came to Teutopolis, of all places. I was here for 6 years, 1980 to 86. Then I went to Quincy for 4 years, St. Francis Solanus. And then from Quincy, I went to the Navy for 15 years, serving Marines in my first assignment in 29 Palms, and then Puerto Rico for the Navy, and then back to the Navy in the Virginia to a chapel. Then on a ship for 3 years, the USS Kearsarge. I have a picture, but you want to see the picture? No. And then from the ship, from the Kearsarge, went to school. The Navy sent me to school, get a master's in preaching. And then from there, I went to Quantico, Virginia with the Marines again, and then to Sicily for 2 years. And then I went from Sicily to the USS Bishop Creek.
Wow.
Do you know where the USS Bishop Creek
No, I
is?
do not.
It's out here in Diederich,
Oh.
Island Grove.
I didn't know what you meant.
Yeah. And then I was there for 10 years in Bishop, and then Diederich, and then I came here to the USS St. Francis. So I've been here for 4 years.
You were in a war. Which war were you in?
Not a war.
I mean, as far as you were in the what you were
I was in Africa.
Africa. Okay.
Yeah, when the people got into stealing the food from the poor and all that stuff, they sent in the Marines and went in there and helped to get the food out to them. Yeah.
Where are some of your favorite churches?
Assignments?
Yeah.
Well, I've always said that God never gave me a bad assignment, and it's true. I've always had a good assignment, whether in the Navy, Marine Corps, Springfield Diocese. St. Louis was a good assignment. It was my first assignment, so that's always a special place. Sort of a second seminary, because I learned so much from the people there in St. Anthony's about what it means to be a priest.
So you've been here at T-Town for 4 years.
4 years.
You were at Bishop for how long?
10.
10 years. Wow.
And then 6 years here before, from 80 to 86. So this is really about 20 years that I've been in this community. That's why the people are starting to get signs out. We move, get it. We want a new pastor here.
Yeah.
What's the situation? We're getting tired of this guy.
What's the situation like with no masses right now?
Oh, it's bad. It really is. It's bad for everybody. The only people who win, of course, would be the people who are avoiding the disease. This COVID-19 is just a terrible thing. And I'm in a situation where I don't know what to believe, just like probably most of the people. Is it that bad or isn't it? And yet you see, like this past week, I saw on Facebook where there were 5 or 6 nuns up near Milwaukee who died, and they were in a nursing home. Of course, they were elderly, put away, and they died from the disease. It was contagious, and one of them got it, and all of them got it. So you don't know. You just don't know what to believe. But I think we're getting tired of the quarantine.
It's getting there.
I'm not sure we're all convinced that this is what we need to do, but that's a whole different situation.
Never happened before.
Well, it's happened here 100 years ago. The church was shut down and the school was shut down for a couple of months, 1918, 1919.
Describe what your favorite holiday mass would be.
You know, I've always liked Holy Thursday. It's not a Christmas mass, it's not an Easter mass. But Holy Thursday is the anniversary of the priesthood, it's the anniversary of the Eucharist. And it's just, I think, just and then you have the adoration afterwards. It's just a very good way to kick off the Triduum, the sacred Triduum, Holy Thursday, Good Friday, the Easter Vigil, and so on. That's one of my favorites, I'd say. They're all good, obviously, but I'm not going to knock any of them.
When did you become interested in watching sports?
St. Anthony's in St. Louis. Soccer was a big thing in the parish. In the whole Archdiocese of St. Louis, kids can play soccer from the time they're in first grade up through seniors in high school. All these intramural or inter-parish CYC, Catholic Youth Council activities. Well, it's such an organization that can play, and you're out there in the wintertime watching these kids play soccer of all things. It's just but that's when I first did it. And then when I came here watching the basketball, you know, it's
a big deal around here.
Oh my gosh.
Basketball, baseball, everything sports.
It is. It's a big thing. Baseball gets a good crowd.
What do you think of the crowds here? I mean, as far as your reaction to the home games, when the crowd gets revved up, and what's your reaction towards that stuff?
I'm very impressed. I don't see any of the fans throwing things or calling them names. Years ago in 1886, I remember when the referees would be escorted off by the state police. They would have police there, or I don't know if they're state police, but the cops would be there, you know, in uniform. To get the, does your dad ever talk about that? You're getting
I mean, there's times where he talks about just like things happen here and there, but they just try to keep it under the best control they can do, you know?
Sure, yeah. I'm glad they don't have to do that anymore.
I mean, he's been refereeing for 32 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mike Krager has been refereeing for a long time, and I talked with him this year in between games. And I said, what's the big change you've seen over the years in refereeing, being an official for basketball? He says the crowds.
Oh, okay.
He says the sides of the crowds are going down and down and down. Apparently, he hasn't been to a St. Anthony Teutopolis game. You can't get a seat in the gym.
It's a pretty big game when they match up.
I'd say so, yeah. But even that's getting better. I understand years ago, they used to throw eggs at the bus, the fan bus. It used to be ugly from what I heard. But
that's when you see bad sportsmanship, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. That's what I mean. I don't see that in our fans. I think our fans are basically pretty respectful of the referees. And you know, I don't agree with them, but we don't throw things at them and call them names and stuff.
Describe what your favorite part of being in the priesthood would be.
Tough question. It's a two-way street, really, and that would be preaching. It's something that I feel called to as a priest. Not everybody can preach. I'm not saying I can't either, but at least I've studied for it, and I work at it. I think when I retire, which, like I said, I can't retire until I'm 90 years old. So,
oh my gosh!
So you get used to having me. I think when I retire, I think I'm going to miss that. And so it's like I said, it's a two-way deal. It's work every week to come up with a homily. But I think without doing it, like I don't preach now. I'm not going to preach to an empty church. I mean, I might need to practice, but I'm not going to go out there and preach to an empty church. But I think I would miss that, coming to Mass every Sunday as a retiree and not preaching. And that's part of what I think the priesthood's about.
What does it mean to have Will Wortman doing the recording for Mass?
Oh, we'd be lost without him. That is really, he's really doing us a great service by having us be able to have Mass in people's homes, basically. They can tune in and see their church. That's what the argument was, you know. I said, well, listen, they can tune in to Sacred Heart or St. Anthony and watch the Mass there. Well, we want to see our church. We want to see our priest and so on. I said, well, I can see that. That makes sense to me. And so, who's going to do it? Well, Wortman said he can do it. And he's basically on leave or quarantine from college. So he does a great job. And he's prompt. He's there, and I think he does a great job with it. And we're fortunate. We're very blessed that he does that and gives us his time and his talent to to bring that to people in the parish.
Father, how are you handling the quarantine?
I just sleep all day. No. Actually, you might not believe this, but I am getting things done in my office that I put off. You can't tell by looking at this desk. But I've been able to, take care of some personal things as well. I'll do that when I get time. We'll do that. We'll put stuff on a corner someplace or on a desk or something. And so I'm able to get some of that stuff done. And reading, I've been wanting to read, and so I have time to read books now and take care of study, like this wedding ritual and stuff. So it seems like there's always something to do. And people say, well, what do you do? What do the priests do all day anyway? It's a fair question.
So, as far as what is the future of the Franciscans in this area?
That's a good question. Because we're just relinquishing now this summer, July 1st, St. Francis Parish in Quincy, St. Francis Solanus, where I went when I left here in '86. The Franciscans have been there from our province since probably 1862. The friars came here in 1858, and that's one of the first places they went to was Quincy, and they founded the parish there, and the Franciscans have been supplying that parish all these years until July 1st, when they're going to relinquish it, turn it back to the diocese. And people say, well, that'll never happen in Teutopolis because the friars have been here so long. Well, I wouldn't get too used to that idea. I think there are no sacred cows anymore. And St. Peter's in Chicago, 40 friars there, that could go tomorrow. We could get a phone call saying, get ready, we're giving St. Francis back to the diocese. That could happen at any time. And that was always the case. It just wasn't likely before. But now I think there's always a chance, especially of losing Quincy.
That's a big one.
It is. It's all those years. And, the friars have been here in Teutopolis all these years with the seminary across the tracks and here in the parish all these years and the bishop and so on.
Talk a little about Dominic Volling and Michael Tremor, and talk about their journey along the way, how they...
Yeah, isn't that something? The last time someone was ordained from this parish was Paul Habing.
Oh, wow. 40
years ago. He's ordained for the Diocese of Springfield. The last time a friar from here was Louis Rundy. Louis Rundy is now 80 years old, and he's the last time that someone from this parish was ordained a Franciscan priest. Strange. Why is that? When the friars have been here all these years. Now, out of bishop, the last one ordained for the priesthood is Jeff Geckner. He's ordained 25 years.
He's celebrating 25 years over in St. Boniface.
That's right. And so we have two men now, Dominic Volling from here, Michael Meinhardt from Bishop. Those two guys will be ordained next month, likely.
Wow.
In June. It's supposed to be this month, but because of the COVID-19 thing, they're moving everything back and sequestering. The numbers game, they can only have so many people and all this. And there's going to be 6 men ordained. There are 2 ordained yesterday. 2 Polish men were ordained yesterday in Springfield. We're going to have 6 more at the next ordination. And I'm just really glad to see that the vocations are here in this Effingham Deanery, not to mention the other one up there in Neoga. Chris and Michael Trummer. Chris will be ordained with these guys. Or Michael Trummer will be ordained with these guys next month. And so, it's really a real blessing for us. And I think part of it for us has been this adoration and, having the praying all night and all night. In the 2 parishes, we have the Eucharistic adoration. And I think that's a big help for vocations. I really do. I don't know if Neoga has it or not, but I'd like to see that continue because we do need more priests in the province and in the diocese everywhere, really.
In closing, Father, is there anything else you'd like to share?
Just the idea of praying for vocations to continue, because you don't have mass without a priest. And so if we're going to grow as a church, we certainly need to have men studying for the priesthood and being ordained, because it's quite a long pipeline. It's 4 years of college, 4 years of theology, and then if you're going to be a Franciscan, it's another couple of years of novitiate. So it isn't something you just jump into overnight. It's something that you have to prepare for and get ready for and stuff.
Father, thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, Tyler. Take care.